Well, hello. We are talking this month about what I'm doing personally in my women's strength and conditioning sessions to optimize the health of the women in my care and how it differs from maybe how we've approached personal training, fitness, and health in the years gone by, and hopefully will start to influence how you approach training your female clients going forwards. So today's tip is that I encourage silliness. We play games, we dance, we sing, and we do that for two reasons. One is hormone balance, and one is to promote connection between the participants in my class. So, the reason or how this came about and why it's part of my method is that mothers, particularly working mothers, have higher levels of circulating cortisol at any time of day than just regular working people. We've talked about how cortisol, which is our main stress hormone, can impact our menstrual cycle and hormone balance because the cortisol binds to the same receptors in your cells as progesterone. So if you have high levels of stress, you have high levels of circulating cortisol, you can inhibit the action of progesterone on your cells because cortisol is binding to them. Now, that's a great thing when we are in times of famine or when it's not a good idea to get pregnant, right? It's not so great when it's long term and constant, and our body never has an ebb and flow of fertility versus stress, particularly for heart and brain health. Now, exercise is another stressor, okay? It will elevate your cortisol levels. And when you load exercise stress on top of lifestyle stress, for women in particular, we have a potential hormone disaster. This is particularly true if you're doing long steady state cardio with your female clients. But to mitigate this, like I'm not saying don't exercise, I'm saying be aware it happens because you can mitigate these effects with play. Okay? If you can make your client laugh, you can lower those cortisol levels. You can lower her stress and make her feel more connected and she enjoys the session more and she wants to be there. All the rules fly out the window if it brings you joy. That's what I say to these girls. If it brings you joy, then do steady state cardio, despite what the research says. If it brings you joy, do high intensity exercise every day. But if it doesn't bring you joy, stick to these guidelines. So in my sessions, sometimes it's a literal game, like we'll play duck duck goose or I don't know, duck duck goose. That's all I've got in my head today. Or we banter. There's a bit of like I get railed by a couple of the girls. Um, that's cool. Today I was dancing because there was a song that made me want to daggy dance with my thumbs up, so I danced. It just all that matters is they laugh, that they dance too or do something silly, that they're free with their bodies and their thoughts and their expression. Just on dance, that has been shown to reduce cortisol. So again, it's not unusual for me to pull out a Macarena or a nut bush to get us dancing. Not that everyone enjoys that either. Um, Spontaneous laughter in and of itself is being thrown out as a potential treatment for stress relief and depression and anxiety. So that's pretty huge. And social connection, anytime you're laughing with a group of people and sharing an experience, it's going to bind you more tightly to that group of people. Now, this is great for your female clients, but it's also great for your business. If someone laughs and loves coming to your sessions, they're going to keep coming and they're going to keep paying you. There is nothing to be lost by dropping the seriousness and the preciseness of our training and turning up the silliness. All right. In fact, for your female clients in particular, it's really, really, really healthy for their hormones. Any questions? Direct message me. I'm used to those messages now. I'm happy to hear criticism as well, and I'll address it next week if it's something we can expound on. Talk to you then.